All entertainment is disposable. You're meant to consume it, then trash it from your mind and move on to the next piece of entertainment. An entertainment medium that suffers most from being so disposable is easily video games. While in an ideal world, video games would age like fine wine, but however, they end up aging more closer to some moldy cheese. You can make a top of the line video game and then this be completely irrelevant next generation. So video game designers have to find ways to keep fans coming back for entries in a series. While this could just be graphical upgrades, yay. Developers that really put passion in their projects will find other ways to keep the games feeling fresh long after we've experienced them. Luigi's Mansion is basically as old as time. I believe even the dinosaurs were able to get their hands on this one. Nonetheless, it is one of my favorite video games of all time. Favorite of all time, actually. So I do not expect to write this with no former bias on the subject. Luigi's Mansion was originally released on the GameCube in 2001 as a launch title. It followed Luigi, instead of Mario, on his first major role as protagonist. Get out of here, you! We don't talk about that one. It had him diving into a haunted mansion searching for his brother. He would slowly uncover the mansion's secrets as he progressed, earning keys to travel from room to room. The mansion was split up into 4 areas, so throughout the course of the game you would have experienced one whole mansion. I feel the need to give a basic plot synopsis, as this will be relevant later. The game was released to mixed reviews from critics and players alike. However, in time it has emerged as one of the must-have titles for the GameCube, which I believe is due to one thing: Dark Moon. Luigi's Mansion sat dormant on the GameCube for quite a few years, not receiving any games or news. Or at least that's how it was until March 20th, 2013, when Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon single-handedly saved the 3DS when it released for the system. This is what I would like to discuss today: the evolution of the series and what Nintendo did to keep it going. Dark Moon came out to a much wider appreciation than the original game did 12 years prior, but this game wasn't your average sequel. It spiced up the Luigi's Mansion formula in a way fans never expected. But was this for the better or the worse? Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon follows Luigi, once again, as he attempts to recover the fragments of the Dark Moon that King Boo has split up across multiple locations. This sentence right here, focusing on multiple locations, explains everything done to change up the Luigi's Mansion formula. While Luigi's Mansion had you slowly working your way through one singular goal, get through the mansion, Dark Moon has you traveling to 5 different goals in 5 different mansions, which greatly divides the game's runtime through these different locations. In the original, you had the entire time to uncover the very detailed secrets of the mansion, developing somewhat of a relationship with the mansion itself. But in Dark Moon, you won't have time to develop the same kind of a relation with these mansions. This means each mansion will leave less of an impression in the player's mind, because the game is being split up into 5 different portions, while in the original you get to focus entirely on one mansion. Next level games did make up for this, however, with the use of personality. The original Luigi's Mansion has the same overall theme: creepy and grim, with low candlelight guiding you through the darkened hallways. Each room inside the mansion seemed to have its own theme, but Dark Moon takes this concept and cranks it to the maximum. Instead of rooms having their own theme, each mansion is centered around a theme, these being a dark and gloomy manor, the haunted towers, a botanical-ridden towerscape, the old clockworks, a sand-sunken mass of machinery, the secret mine, a frozen-over mining facility, and finally, the treacherous mansion. This singular level is the most in line with the original game's structure. These 5 smaller mansions were stark contrasts to the one massive mansion seen in the original game. However, this is not the only thing Next Level Games did to spice up Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. They also changed the way the game's progression was structured. Like I stated earlier, the original mansion had you exploring 4 separate areas of the mansion, which slowly opened up the massive dollhouse you were exploring in a sandbox-style experience. In Dark Moon, however, you explored each of these different mansions in parts similar to the original. However, it was not the open sandbox way. Each mansion came along with a certain amount of levels, Each level would have you reaching some sort of small goal, like reaching a certain place or capturing a certain ghost. Think of how 2D Mario has a set path of levels that you can only beat in one order. This is how it was for Dark Moon. While this was designed to better suit the pick up and play style of the 3DS, this was easily the most disliked part of Dark Moon. It would mean every dozen minutes you would finally get things rolling, then be teleported back to EGAD's lab, then watch a cutscene. It ruined the pacing, and it broke player immersion. This was made even worse due to these levels being scored, which would tally up at the end of the level. This made it to where players couldn't feel like they were just exploring the mansion. In the back of their mind, they always knew that they were being ranked on how they played. Even with all this said, in time, I think this has aged better than it was initially received. I feel this gives the game its own personal charm, which is the whole point. These games should feel distinct from one another. While Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon may have felt like a step down from the original in many ways, it holds a place in fans' hearts due to charismatic animations, creative world theming, and more inventive puzzles. And this brings us to where we are today. We now get to enjoy 3 wonderful entries in one of the most pleasant video game franchises I've ever played. While these 3 entries may pale in comparison to the large libraries of series with far more sequels, I feel this was the best series to dive in and discuss how the developers changed the formula. Now you might be wondering, I said 3 entries, not 2. Yes, this is because on Halloween 2019, Luigi's Mansion 3 was released. And I have some opinions on it, but while I would love to include it here, I have so much to say on it, I might just have to make it into its own video. But who knows? Only time will tell. Thank you all for tuning into this video. I was super nervous making this, but hopefully the video turns out well. Scripting me is worried about how patient future me will be with the editing. It's gonna be a headache. Anyway, that's gonna be the end of this one. Thank you all for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.